Every beat of your heart is a miracle, pushing life through your veins. But what if I told you there are hidden dangers inside your arteries, building silently with every passing year? And what if I also told you that 5 simple foods, backed by science, can fight these dangers more effectively than aspirin without the risks or side effects? Stay with me, because today we're uncovering the 5 best foods to unclog arteries, protect your heart, and extend your life in ways that doctors are only beginning to fully understand. Heart disease is called the silent killer for a reason. Most people never know their arteries are clogged until it's too late, until a heart attack or a stroke strikes suddenly. In fact, statistics show that someone in the world dies from cardiovascular disease every 36 seconds. And yet so much of this could be prevented, not with pills, not with surgery, but with the everyday foods we choose to eat. The problem begins with a process called atherosclerosis. Over years, cholesterol, fats, and other substances form sticky plaques that cling to artery walls. This narrows the passageways where blood should flow freely. Over time, these narrowed arteries can restrict blood supply to the heart, brain, and other vital organs. And while aspirin is commonly prescribed to thin the blood and reduce clot risk, it comes with well-documented downsides: stomach bleeding, ulcers, even dangerous interactions with other medications. That's why researchers have turned their attention to natural dietary strategies, and what they've found is astonishing. Certain foods can actually improve arterial flexibility, reduce inflammation, lower cholesterol, and in some cases even help reverse the buildup of plaque. These aren't exotic or hard to find. They're foods that may already be in your kitchen or local market. Let's begin with the first food, one that looks small and sweet, but delivers a powerful punch against artery disease: berries. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries aren't just colorful toppings for your breakfast. They are nutritional powerhouses loaded with compounds called anthocyanins. Anthocyanins are a type of flavonoid, and scientific studies have shown they reduce inflammation, improve blood vessel function, and decrease oxidative stress, which is actually one of the main drivers of plaque buildup. In one study, individuals at risk of heart disease who ate blueberries daily experienced measurable improvements in vascular function, lower blood pressure, and reduced arterial stiffness. Another large-scale analysis showed that people who consumed the most flavonoids, which are found abundantly in berries, tea, apples, and citrus fruits, had up to 26% lower risk of plaque forming in the neck and leg arteries compared to those who consumed the least. The evidence is so compelling that some researchers argue berries should be considered essential for cardiovascular protection. Think of it this way: every handful of blueberries you eat is like scrubbing your arteries from the inside, keeping them flexible, smooth, and clean. This is not fantasy. It's biochemical reality. Antioxidants in berries help prevent LDL cholesterol from oxidizing, and oxidized LDL is the form most likely to stick to artery walls. By stopping this process, berries cut off plaque formation at its earliest stage, and unlike aspirin, which only addresses clotting, berries target the root cause, inflammation and plaque buildup. That's why making berries a daily habit, adding them to oatmeal, blending them in smoothies, or eating them as a snack, is honestly one of the simplest, safest ways to support your arteries. But berries are just the beginning. Let's move to the second food, which is, a little less sweet but just as powerful, and that is fatty fish, especially salmon, sardines, mackerel, and one of the most potent forms of all, cod liver oil. These foods are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, particularly EPA, or eicosapentaenoic acid, which has been studied extensively for its role in heart health. A landmark 2019 clinical trial found that EPA supplementation led to significant reductions in arterial plaque, fewer cardiovascular events, and lower overall inflammation. Cod liver oil goes one step further, because it not only delivers EPA, but also provides vitamin A and vitamin D, which support tissue repair and reduce chronic inflammation in the arterial lining. Doctors and nutrition experts often call omega-3s nature's aspirin because they reduce the tendency of blood to clot, help stabilize dangerous soft plaques, and calm inflammation in the vessel walls. But unlike aspirin, omega-3s provide additional protective benefits, including lowering triglycerides and improving the balance of good HDL cholesterol to bad LDL cholesterol. This makes fatty fish and cod liver oil some of the most complete heart-protective foods you can consume. Imagine this. While aspirin simply thins your blood temporarily, omega-3s from fish work at the structural level, changing how your arteries function and reducing the triggers that cause plaque to grow in the first place. So, here's the thing. Experts in preventive cardiology often recommend 2 servings of fatty fish each week, or even a daily dose of cod liver oil, to really support long-term heart health. The data is pretty clear. Populations that consume diets high in fish, like the Japanese and Nordic populations, have significantly lower rates of heart disease, even though they have higher intakes of natural fats. You know, it's not about avoiding fat. It's really about choosing the right kind of fat. EPA-rich fish oils are the fats that heal rather than harm. Adding grilled salmon to your dinner twice a week, enjoying sardines as a snack, or just taking a teaspoon of cod liver oil daily can truly transform your cardiovascular outlook. The effect is not just on your arteries, but on your overall vitality. Better blood flow means better oxygen delivery to every organ and tissue in your body. And now, let's talk about the third group of foods: nuts, legumes, and whole grains. These may sound ordinary, but they are essential allies in the fight against clogged arteries. First, nuts like almonds, walnuts, and pistachios provide a unique combination of fiber, protein, and heart-healthy fats. Numerous studies have shown that people who eat nuts regularly reduce their risk of heart disease by up to 20% or more. Nuts lower LDL cholesterol, raise HDL cholesterol, and provide antioxidants that protect arterial walls. In fact, just a small handful of walnuts daily has been linked to measurable improvements in artery function within weeks. Next, legumes like lentils, beans, and chickpeas are loaded with plant protein, soluble fiber, and minerals like magnesium and potassium. These nutrients work together to lower blood pressure, regulate blood sugar, and decrease cholesterol levels. Since high blood pressure and diabetes are major risk factors for arterial damage, adding legumes to your diet directly supports healthier arteries. Studies consistently show that diets rich in legumes lower cardiovascular risk and improve markers of arterial stiffness. Then we come to whole grains, foods like oats, brown rice, quinoa, and barley. Unlike refined grains that spike blood sugar and contribute to inflammation, whole grains provide soluble fiber that binds to cholesterol in the digestive tract and carries it out of the body. This lowers circulating cholesterol levels, meaning there's less to deposit into your artery walls. A meta-analysis of over 45 studies found that each additional serving of whole grains per day was associated with a 9% reduction in heart disease risk. So, oats in particular contain beta-glucan, a special type of fiber that's actually been shown to reduce LDL cholesterol by as much as 10% when you eat it every day. When you put this all together, nuts protect you with healthy fats, legumes help stabilize your blood sugar and pressure, and whole grains, well, they sweep cholesterol right out of your body. They're a trio of everyday foods that, when combined, actually create a dietary shield against atherosclerosis. The beauty of these foods is honestly their simplicity. They don't require any special preparation or expensive supplements. You can start your day with a bowl of oatmeal topped with berries and nuts. Enjoy a lentil soup for lunch and, add a handful of almonds as an afternoon snack. Every one of these small choices really adds up, cleaning your arteries and reducing your reliance on risky medications. Today, I want to walk you through 12 dangerous signs of blocked arteries that many people notice too late. If you stay with me until the end, you will understand what these signs mean, why they happen, and how to respond before tragedy occurs. Let's begin with the first and most common sign: chest pain or discomfort. When arteries in the heart are blocked, blood cannot flow freely. The heart muscle becomes starved of oxygen. You may feel pressure, heaviness, or a squeezing sensation in the chest. Some describe it as if someone is sitting on their chest. Others mistake it for indigestion or gas. The pain may come when you walk, climb stairs, or feel stressed. Then it disappears when you rest. But this is not ordinary pain. This is your heart warning you that its arteries are clogged. Ignoring it could lead to a heart attack. If chest discomfort keeps coming back, even in small episodes, it is a red alert. The second sign is shortness of breath. Your heart is a pump. When arteries are blocked, the pump weakens. It cannot push enough oxygen-rich blood to your body. As a result, you feel breathless even after light activity. Maybe you climb a few stairs and feel winded. Maybe you walk a short distance and need to stop to catch your breath. Seniors often assume this is just part of aging. But aging itself does not suddenly make you breathless. Blocked arteries do. If you notice that normal tasks leave you gasping, it could be a sign that blood flow to your lungs and muscles is restricted. Now, let's talk about the third sign: unexplained fatigue. Imagine your body as a city and your arteries as highways. If the highways are blocked, fuel cannot reach its destination. Your body feels drained. You may wake up tired even after a full night of sleep. You may struggle to complete simple chores. This kind of fatigue is different. It doesn't go away with rest. It lingers. Many people dismiss it as stress, aging, or poor sleep. But in reality, it can mean your heart and brain are not receiving enough oxygen because of clogged arteries. The fourth sign is pain in the legs or arms during activity. This is known as claudication. When arteries in your legs are narrowed, blood struggles to reach the muscles. As you walk, your legs cramp or ache. You may feel heaviness or numbness. The pain disappears when you rest. Many mistake this for arthritis or joint problems, but there is a difference. Joint pain is usually constant. Artery-related pain comes only with movement and goes away when you stop. This is a sign of peripheral artery disease. And, it is closely linked with increased risk of heart attack and stroke. If your legs hurt only when you walk, don't ignore it. The fifth sign is erectile dysfunction in men. This is a sensitive subject, but it is a very important clue. The arteries that supply blood to the penis are small. When blockages begin, they often appear here first. A man may notice difficulty in achieving or maintaining an erection. Many think it's just about age or hormones, but in many cases it is an early sign of artery blockages. Erectile dysfunction often shows up years before heart disease is diagnosed. Treat it as a warning, not just an inconvenience. The sixth sign is dizziness and fainting. The brain needs a constant supply of oxygen. Blocked carotid arteries in the neck reduce that supply. The result can be sudden dizziness, lightheadedness, or even fainting. These episodes may last for a few seconds. Some people brush them off as weakness, but repeated dizziness is never normal. It could mean your brain is being starved of blood, and that is often a precursor to stroke. If you find yourself dizzy without reason, pay attention. Now let's look at the seventh sign: swollen ankles and feet. You might think swelling only comes from kidney problems or, standing too long. But blocked arteries in the heart weaken the pumping action. Blood begins to pool in the lower body. Fluid builds up in the tissues, causing swelling. You may notice that your shoes feel tighter or your socks leave deep marks on the skin. Swelling in the ankles is not just a cosmetic issue. It could mean your heart is struggling because its arteries are clogged. The eighth sign is irregular heartbeat or palpitations. A healthy heart beats in a steady rhythm, but when its arteries are blocked, it struggles. It may beat faster, skip beats, or pound unexpectedly. Some describe this as fluttering in the chest. Others feel it as a racing heartbeat for no reason. These are not always harmless. They can mean that your heart is trying to adjust to reduced blood flow. If you notice irregular patterns in your heartbeat, don't dismiss them as stress or caffeine. It could be a sign of artery disease. The ninth sign is numbness or weakness on one side of the body. This is often a warning of a transient ischemic attack, also called a mini stroke. Blocked arteries in the neck reduce blood to the brain. You may suddenly feel weakness in the arm, leg, or face, usually on one side. It may last a few minutes and then disappear. But don't be fooled. This is a serious warning. A major stroke could follow soon after. If you ever experience sudden numbness or weakness, seek medical help immediately. The 10th sign is cold hands and feet. When arteries are narrowed, blood cannot reach your extremities. Fingers and toes may feel unusually cold. They may even change color, turning pale or bluish. This is not simply about the weather. This is poor circulation caused by blocked arteries. If your hands and feet are cold when the rest of your body is warm, or if they stay cold for long periods, it could mean your arteries are clogged. The 11th sign is slow healing wounds. Blood carries oxygen and nutrients to repair injuries. If arteries are blocked, wounds, cuts, or sores take longer to heal. This often happens on the legs and feet. In severe cases, infections develop because the body cannot fight them properly. Seniors may notice that small injuries don't heal the way they used to. If you see wounds lingering for weeks, take it as a warning. Finally, the 12th sign, jaw or neck pain. Most people do not connect this with blocked arteries. But when heart arteries are clogged, pain may spread beyond the chest. It can radiate to the jaw, throat, or neck. Women, especially, are more likely to experience this type of pain instead of classic chest pain. That is why many women miss the warning signs of heart disease. If you feel strange or recurring pain in your jaw or neck without dental issues, don't ignore it. Now that we have gone through the 12 signs, let's just take a moment to reflect on what they actually mean. Each of these symptoms is really a signal that blood is not flowing freely. Your body, in a sense, is fighting for oxygen and nutrients. Your heart, brain, and muscles are being starved. These signs may come and go, and sometimes they might even feel kind of mild. But honestly, they are never normal. They are not random either. They are alarms going off inside your body. The real danger here is ignoring them. Many people, dismiss these symptoms as just part of aging, stress, or minor health issues. They wait until the pain becomes unbearable. By then, it is often too late. A heart attack strikes. A stroke happens. And lives are changed forever. But you don't need to wait for disaster. The body is wise. It always gives clues. The key is to listen. Blocked arteries do not appear overnight. They develop slowly, over years, sometimes even decades. Imagine a small crack inside a water pipe. Over time, dirt and rust stick to the crack, and the opening narrows. Water struggles to flow. The same thing happens in your arteries. Tiny injuries in the arterial walls attract fatty deposits. These deposits, called plaques, stick and grow. Slowly, they harden. The blood flow becomes weaker, and eventually, a blockage forms. This entire process is called atherosclerosis. The shocking truth is that atherosclerosis often begins early in life. Studies have found fatty streaks inside arteries of young adults. But, the symptoms don't appear until middle or old age. By then, the damage is already advanced. That's why prevention is so important. If you wait for pain or warning signs, you are already late. But the good news is, blocked arteries can be slowed, controlled, and in some cases, even partially reversed. And the power lies in your daily habits. Let's start with food. Food is medicine, or food is poison. The choice is yours. Diets high in processed foods, fried snacks, sugary drinks, and red meat damage your arteries. They increase cholesterol and inflammation. Over time, these substances stick inside your arteries, narrowing the flow. But the opposite is also true. Healthy food protects your arteries. Fresh vegetables, colorful fruits, whole grains, nuts, and seeds keep them flexible and open. Leafy greens like spinach and kale contain natural nitrates. These nitrates help widen arteries and improve blood flow. Berries, such as blueberries and strawberries, are packed with antioxidants. They fight inflammation and reduce plaque buildup. Fatty fish like salmon and mackerel contain omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats prevent arteries from stiffening and reduce blood clot risks. Even small dietary swaps make a big difference. Replace fried foods with baked. Choose whole fruit instead of juice. Drink water instead of soda. Your arteries respond quickly to these choices. Now, let's talk about movement. Exercise is one of the most powerful tools for artery health. When you move, your heart pumps harder, blood flows faster, and arteries stay flexible. Exercise also lowers blood pressure, reduces cholesterol, and helps control weight. But many people believe exercise must be difficult or painful. That's not true. Even simple activities count. Walking, gardening, climbing stairs, or light dancing are all forms of movement. The key is consistency. Aim for at least 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. If 30 minutes feels hard, start with 10. Build up slowly. Your arteries don't care about speed. They care about regular movement. Another major factor is stress. Stress damages more than your mind. It damages your arteries too. When you are stressed, your body releases hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones raise blood pressure and cause inflammation. Over time, the arterial walls weaken and plaques stick more easily. That's why people with constant stress often suffer from heart attacks and strokes. Learning to manage stress is not a luxury. It's survival. Simple steps like deep breathing, meditation, or listening to calm music reduce stress. Spending time in nature, reading, or gentle yoga can calm the nervous system. Even 10 minutes a day makes a difference. Now, consider sleep. Many underestimate the power of good rest. During sleep, the body repairs itself. It heals inflammation and balances hormones. If you cut short your sleep, inflammation grows and arteries harden faster. Studies show people who sleep less than 6 hours regularly have higher risks of heart disease. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Go to bed at the same time each night. Keep your room dark, cool, and quiet. Avoid screens before bedtime. Treat sleep as essential medicine for your heart. Next, let's talk about blood pressure and cholesterol. High blood pressure acts like a hammer, pounding against artery walls. Over time, it causes tiny injuries inside the arteries. Plaques form at these injury sites. High cholesterol fuels those plaques. Together, they are a deadly combination. That's why doctors always monitor these numbers. Get regular checkups. Know your levels. If your blood pressure is high, work on lowering salt intake, reducing stress, and exercising. If your cholesterol is high, avoid trans fats and increase fiber intake. Oats, beans, and flax seeds are excellent for lowering cholesterol naturally. Now, let's face one of the biggest dangers: smoking. Cigarettes are poison to your arteries. Every puff damages the inner lining. It makes plaques grow faster and blood clots form easier. Smokers have far higher risks of blocked arteries, heart attacks, and strokes. If you smoke, quitting is the best decision you can ever make. And it's never too late. Within weeks of quitting, your circulation improves. Within months, your risk of heart disease drops. Every cigarette avoided is one more step toward open arteries. What about alcohol? Small amounts may not harm, but heavy drinking raises blood pressure and damages artery walls. If you drink, do it in moderation. That means no more than 1 drink a day for women and 2 for men. But if you don't drink already, there is no reason to start. Water, herbal teas, and natural juices are far better choices. Speaking of water, let's discuss hydration. Many people forget how important water is for circulation. Blood thickens when you are dehydrated. Thick blood flows slower and struggles to pass through narrow arteries. Drinking enough water keeps blood smooth and circulation steady. Seniors often feel less thirsty, but they need water just as much. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses daily, unless your doctor gives different advice. Another important aspect is weight management. Extra body weight puts extra strain on your arteries. Fat tissue releases chemicals that increase inflammation. Even small weight loss can dramatically improve artery health. You don't need to aim for perfection. Losing 5 to 10% of your weight lowers blood pressure, improves cholesterol, and reduces artery blockages. Focus on gradual, steady weight loss with healthy eating and regular movement. Now let's move to supplements and natural remedies. Science shows that certain nutrients support arterial health. Vitamin K2 helps prevent calcium deposits inside arteries. Without K2, calcium hardens in the wrong places. Coenzyme Q10, also called CoQ10, supports energy production in heart cells. It also reduces oxidative stress in arteries. Garlic has been shown to lower cholesterol and reduce plaque buildup. Turmeric, with its compound curcumin, reduces inflammation. Omega-3 supplements also help reduce triglycerides and keep arteries flexible. Always consult your doctor before starting supplements, but know that natural supports can work alongside lifestyle changes. Let's talk about sugar and processed foods. Most people think only fat blocks arteries, but sugar is just as dangerous. High sugar levels damage artery walls, increase inflammation, and lead to diabetes. Diabetes itself is one of the strongest risk factors for artery disease. Processed foods, loaded with salt, sugar, and artificial chemicals, also speed up plaque buildup. The more natural your diet, the safer your arteries. Choose whole foods, home-cooked meals, and avoid packaged snacks whenever possible. Another overlooked factor is family history and genetics. If your parents or siblings had heart disease, your risk is higher. But, genetics are not destiny. Lifestyle still plays a huge role. Even with family risk, healthy eating, exercise, stress control, and avoiding smoking can reduce your risk dramatically. Now, what should you do if you notice the warning signs we discussed earlier? Don't wait. Don't ignore. Don't hope it goes away. If you feel chest pain, shortness of breath, sudden weakness, or severe dizziness, call emergency services immediately. Quick action saves lives. Doctors say time is muscle. The longer your heart goes without blood, the more muscle it loses. The longer your brain goes without blood, the more cells it loses. Speed is everything. Many people ask, can blocked arteries be reversed? The answer is, well, complicated. Severe blockages may require medical treatments like stents or bypass surgery. But lifestyle changes can stop the disease from getting worse. In some cases, they can even reduce plaques slightly. Studies have shown that intensive lifestyle programs, healthy diet, regular exercise, stress management, can shrink plaque buildup. Your arteries are living tissues. They respond to your choices. They heal if you give them a chance. Another common question is, how do I know if my arteries are blocked before symptoms? The answer lies in regular health checks. Doctors can use tests like cholesterol levels, blood pressure, ECG, or even advanced imaging to see how healthy your arteries are. Do not wait for pain. Prevention means checking early. At this point, you may feel worried. But remember this: worry does nothing. Action does everything. Your arteries don't care about yesterday. They care about today. Every choice you make, every meal, every step, every hour of rest, shapes your artery health. Think of your arteries as highways of life. Keep them open, clean and flexible, and your journey will be long and strong. Neglect them, and the roadblocks will come. Heart attacks, strokes, disability. But you have the power to choose a different path. We've reached the final part of this important message. By now you understand that blocked arteries are not silent. They do not hide completely. They give signals. They give warnings. And if you recognize them, you can save your own life. Let's bring everything together and create a clear picture in your mind. There are 12 dangerous signs we discussed: chest pain or pressure, shortness of breath, constant fatigue, leg pain while walking, erectile dysfunction in men, dizziness and fainting, swollen ankles and feet, irregular heartbeat, sudden numbness or weakness on one side of the body, cold hands and feet, wounds that heal too slowly, and jaw or neck pain. These are not random symptoms. They are your body's alarm bells. They are your arteries calling for help. Never ignore them. Why do these signs appear? Because your arteries are narrowing. Plaques are building up. Blood flow is restricted. Your heart, brain, and muscles are starved of oxygen. When this continues, disaster strikes. A heart attack, a stroke, loss of mobility, loss of independence. This is the hidden danger of blocked arteries. They wait until the last moment. Then they strike hard. But you also know the solutions. You are not helpless. You have power. Your daily choices shape your artery health. Every meal matters. Every step matters. Every night of sleep matters. Eat whole foods. Add leafy greens, berries, fish, nuts, and seeds to your diet. Avoid processed foods and sugary drinks. Move your body every day. Even light activity strengthens your arteries. Manage stress. Calm your mind. Protect your heart. Sleep well. Give your body the time it needs to heal. Stay hydrated. Keep your blood flowing smoothly. Avoid smoking. It is one of the fastest ways to destroy your arteries. Quit if you can, and if you need help, reach out for support. Limit alcohol. Heavy drinking does more harm than good. Control your blood pressure and cholesterol. Know your numbers. Get regular health checkups. Don't wait for pain before you take action. Prevention is always better than cure. And remember, your arteries are alive. They respond to care. They respond to love. With the right changes, you can slow, stop, and even partially reverse damage. Your body wants to heal. Give it the chance. So now the question is simple. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you ignore it and hope for the best? Or will you take action today? Will you choose to protect your arteries, your heart, your brain, and your life? The choice is in your hands. If this message spoke to you, please do not keep it to yourself. Someone you love may be walking around with blocked arteries right now. Someone may already be feeling these warning signs, but dismissing them as nothing. Share this video with them. It could save their life. And if you found this information valuable, please give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell so you never miss important health updates. Leave a comment below and tell us what changes you will make starting today. Your engagement not only helps you, but also helps us spread this life-saving message to more people. Your arteries are your lifeline. Protect them, care for them, and they will carry you through many strong and healthy years. Stay safe, stay aware, and I'll see you in the next video.